Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue au Conseil d'arrondissement de Lennoxville, la séance ordinaire numéro 11 du 27 septembre 2022. Il est présentement 17 heures, on va commencer la séance. Welcome everyone to the Borough Council of Lennoxville, the regular meeting number 11 of September 27, 2022. It is now 5 p.m. Alors donc, ouverture de la séance. Adoption de l'ordre du jour. Point 1, pardon. Point 2, adoption de l'ordre du jour. Point 3, adoption des différents procès-verbaux. Tout allait bien au niveau du procès-verbal. Ici, en 3.1, celui des conseils d'arrondissement. Aucune modification. Même chose ici à 3.1.1. Lecture et adoption du procès-verbal, c'est adopté tel quel. Ensuite, du comité consultatif d'organismes, nous n'avons rien cette semaine. Donc, les procès-verbaux sont acceptés aussi tels quels. So for the minutes of the last meeting of the 30th of August is adopted, and also the minutes of the plenary advisory committee is also accepted as is. Alors, on ouvre maintenant la parole au point 4, aux questions des personnes présentes. It's now time to open the floor to questions of the audience.
So, hi, my name is Adam Langua. I'm coming from Gamma Street in the Viewpoint District of Lennoxville. I'd like to raise 2 points today. The first, with regard to the work that's being done in Viewpoint today to repair a water pipe. So first, we're thankful that you identified the problem and were able to get in there to fix what needed to be fixed. However, I do have one complaint actually on the behalf of both my mother and sister, who were quite surprised this morning when they looked out the front window of our house to find city employees urinating on our front lawn.
They were doing what, sorry?
Urinating on our front lawn. So that was rather upsetting for them. And when you consider that that was also done within 200 feet of 2 separate daycares, it's something that should really be brought to the attention of the city, because it's absolutely unacceptable. We're thankful for the work, but when your employees are representing you, they need to do so appropriately. So I just wanted to make that, make you guys aware of that.
Thank you very much, Andre, if you can take good note of that.
And then my second point, I think nobody here will be surprised. It has to do with our continued discussion about Viewpoint Park and the surrounding forest. So bear with me, I have something I'd like to read. So continuing on from previous discussions, the Borough Council continues to adamantly claim that the boundaries of Viewpoint Park extend through the forest all the way to the edge of the ETSB property where Alexander Galt Regional High School and the Lennoxville Vocational Training Center are located. The council further claims that as the forest is considered part of the park, that the Tobacco Control Act, so that's Law L 6.2, and the Cannabis Regulation Act, that would be Law C 5.3, both apply, making it such that the act of smoking, vaping, and the consumption of cannabis products in this area is a contravention to provincial law. At the last council meeting, it was requested that the boundaries of the park, where these laws are supposed to apply, be reiterated to the Sherbrooke Police Force, as the SPS claims that the forest is not part of the park and that the laws do not apply there. After discussing with our community police officer last week, I thankfully was finally able to actually meet him face to face. It was made clear to me that no such action has been taken, making it appear as though the council has chosen not to inform the police force in order to ensure that provincial laws are enforced on the land where the council claims that the laws should be enforced. As such, it would seem that the council is failing in its responsibilities and duties to uphold and enforce the law by not demonstrating due diligence to ensure that the law is in fact enforced. This council appears to be choosing to allow illegal activity to continue on land where it itself says that acts are illegal. In my personal interpretation of the law, I feel that the council, the Ville de Sherbrooke, and the Service de Police de Sherbrooke, as the owner and operator of the community park, and based on the description of the park boundaries provided by the council, are potentially in violations of Articles 43, 57.1, 57.11, and 57.2 of the Tobacco Control Act, and are also potentially in violation of Articles 17 and 18 of the Cannabis Regulation Act. So by not enforcing the laws, the city is in fact breaking the law, is essentially what I'm saying there. These violations place the Ville de Sherbrooke susceptible to tens of thousands of dollars in fines should they be found guilty of them. For this reason, I now implore the council to please take action in order to do the two following. First, confirm the designation of the forest as part of the park or not. And to further ensure that should the forest be part of the park, that appropriate signage be placed at the access point to the park from Alexander Galt without delay. And second, should the forest be considered as part of the park, the council must ensure that the appropriate provincial laws are enforced by the distribution of penalties and fines to those who contravene the law. So essentially, if you're telling me that these are the laws that need to be enforced there, I'd like to see them begin to be enforced, because our community police officer, in discussion with him last week, told me he has received no directive to enforce either the Cannabis Regulation Act or the Tobacco Control Act within the forest, because as far as he's concerned, as far as his superiors are concerned, the forest is not the park. So somebody needs to clarify something somewhere. That's it.
What we can inform you about is we have had discussions with the different authorities of the police in general, with the police director. Our general director has talked with him personally, and so I'm actually very surprised to hear what I hear, because this is the conclusion that we had drawn together, was that the forest was part of the park. So for me, it's maybe a problem of miscommunication or something like that. But maybe Andre, you can say something about that situation.
First of all, concerning the law and the bylaw of the cities of Sherbrooke, the Service des Affaires Juridiques of the city checked the interpretation of the law, the bylaw of the city, and get back to you as soon as possible concerning that, because the land is on the park directly, and we wait the decision and the follow-up about the interpretation of the bylaw of the city concerning the 6.2 or the article of 6.2 and others on the bylaw of the city.
And you had your second point also that I'm forgetting. The second one is?
The first point was the urinating on my front lawn.
Yes.
The second
That one
point
is
was-
really taken note of, and that's going to be taken
The
care of.
second point is really, like I'm trying, I've been working with you guys, trying to work with you guys to find solutions to the problems that we're having up there. And I'm a person who likes to play by the rules. In this case, the rules are the laws. And I'm having a hard time to do that because depending on who I ask, I'm told that there are different rules that apply. So I, at this point, really need to know what are the rules that need to be followed and how can we ensure that people are going to actually follow them. I'm fully of the understanding that if this were to change, I mean, we can't do an overnight change. You were allowed to smoke, now you're not. There would have to be some sort of a grace period where people are informed, okay, this is what's happening. The designation has been confirmed. You are actually not allowed to do this here. And like a warning, almost like when the new traffic signs put up, right? You're given a grace period to adjust to the new speed limit before it comes enforced. I could see something like that being done if the forest would be deemed a no smoking area. But I mean, addressing the problems of whether or not they are allowed to smoke there. The littering. I was actually educated this week that some of the burnt litter that I was finding there, burnt water bottles, were actually not simply kids playing with fire. They were actually making homemade bombs. So there is consumption of cannabis in there. Something needs to be done, if for nothing else than to protect the youth of the area.
Definitely, I agree with you. So as I stated during the interview, my personal will is to put together a meeting with the service scolaire, with the school, with the police, with also residents from the area. I think in a meeting like this, you would be more than welcome to participate. And I think this is a place where we could find a solution that's more perennial, as opposed to something that's only happening once. But also, we are working also to enforce the law on the short term for sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You had something to say? That's perfect. Very good. Okay, we move on to point 8, Borough Council with the financial assistance with 8.1.1.
No, but there's another.
Oh, sorry about that.
Non, c'est correct.
Oui.
Je comprends très bien l'anglais en passant.
Oui.
Je voulais juste, dans le fond,
Oui.
quelques secondes, je comprends qu'on a eu pendant sur la fin de la période de questions. C'était simplement pour appuyer mon voisin. Je viens de la rue, ça fait 4 ans qu'on est là.
Oui.
Il y a plusieurs jeunes familles à s'être installées. Puis, sans avoir une question spécifique ou un point, je pense que c'est largement documenté, mais c'est une préoccupation qui est très présente chez pas mal tous les nouveaux résidents. On assiste à un gros changement de gouvernement dans le quartier. Je pense que toi, ça fait très longtemps que tu es né même dans le quartier. On est plusieurs jeunes familles à se préoccuper beaucoup de ce parc, des espaces dans le parc Viewpoint. J'ai participé à des patrouilles de nettoyage en 3 ans. Donc, on est plusieurs à se préoccuper de ça. C'était vraiment pour joindre ma voix à notre collectif. On est plusieurs à se poser des questions. Puis, à vouloir y aller de manière constructive, ceci dit, un bon voisinage avec l'école Alexandre Dor, mais quand même, on a trouvé des solutions aux problèmes de déchets, mais aussi de vandalisme dans le parc. Donc, c'était vraiment ça que je voulais apporter. J'avais une question, mais je pense que tout était couvert, fait que ça sert à rien d'inclure des questions supplémentaires. C'est juste pour appuyer ce point-là.
Il n'y a pas de changement.
Vincent Saint-Pierre, j'habite au 27-25 rue Alpha. En ce qui a trait à ma propriété, nous, on a quand même aussi des petits concerns. J'ai eu plusieurs livreurs de pizza qui sont venus chez nous. Est-ce qu'on donne mon adresse? Donc, il y a plusieurs élèves de l'école qui donnent mon adresse personnelle pour effectuer des livraisons sur l'heure du dîner. Pendant la période de pandémie, j'ai été en télétravail beaucoup, donc j'ai pu assister à tout ce qui se passe dans le parc là, durant les heures de dîner. Puis, c'est quelques petits points que j'ai tenté d'adresser à la direction de l'école, mais je suis toujours resté avec des lettres de non, des fins de non-recevoir, disons-le comme ça. J'ai jamais été capable de parler à quelqu'un de la direction. J'ai toujours parlé au secrétariat. J'ai même appelé au service de police pour essayer de voir quel était le meilleur moyen pour nous, comme citoyens, d'adresser la situation. Puis c'est pour ça que je suis ici aussi ce soir.
Merci beaucoup d'être là.
Ça fait plaisir.
So sorry about that little ce petit oubli de ma part.
Ah, c'est correct, j'étais.
Donc, il n'y a pas de problème. Donc, point 8, point.
Oh, OK. Je pensais que j'ai lu quelque chose.
Yeah,
Le Conseil sans papier.
Something else?
Non, non, pas sur celle-là. C'était juste en ligne.
Okay. So, point 8.1.1, financial assistance by the borough, une assistance financière accordée par l'arrondissement au point 8.1.1.
Oui, c'est une demande historique, mais pas historique, mais c'est fait longtemps. Ça date de l'ancienne ville de Lennoxville, que la ville donne 1 000 $ à Alexander Gold pour afin d'aider le département des sports pour l'année 2022 et 2023. 8.1.1 is to accord $1,000 to Alexander Galt for its sports program for 2022-2023.
Super. We move on to 8.1.1. On continue vers le point 1.2. Donc, dépôt du suivi des interventions du conseil d'arrondissement, donc, sont déposés. Voilà, et sont accessibles. Donc, voilà, tabling of the public evaluation of the Borough Council of August 30th, 2022 are now accessible. Aussi, voilà, now point 9. 9.1.1, réfection du mobilier urbain au parc Ataubiver. Donc, vous le saviez probablement, l'enseigne du parc Ataubiver était en piètre état et puis elle a même été retirée récemment. Donc, c'était simplement de se concerter ensemble. Il y a une soumission qui a été faite, ça a suivi son chemin. Et puis maintenant, le conseil d'arrondissement a décidé d'accorder la somme de environ 3 700 $. Merci beaucoup. La somme de 3 700 $ pour la construction et la pose de cette affiche. So as many of you knew, the signage at the Beaver Park was in pretty bad shape, and so it was taking off a few weeks ago. And so we decided the Borough Council together to ask for how much this was going to cost, and furthermore, we had the number, and we decided to purchase this new signage. And so the total amount of this signage, this signage is going to cost $3,700, and this is going to be installed shortly. Voilà. Maintenant, on arrive au message des membres du conseil d'arrondissement.
Oui, merci. J'aimerais remercier tout le monde qui sont venus au festival La Citrouille dimanche. C'était un grand succès. Et merci aux bénévoles de la Maison des Jeunes et de Bishop's College School. Je pense que c'était un bon après-midi. I'd like to thank everybody who participated Sunday at the Pumpkin Festival in our town. There were 10 pumpkins. The winner was Mike McDonald with 1,330 pounds. Mike was one of the original people who started the festival in 1989. So he's quite an expert. Le mi-octobre, ce serait le lever de fonds pour Empty Bowls pour soutenir nos gens en ville pour les denrées. C'est organisé par Lucy Doney. Empty Bowls will be in mid-October, but I haven't seen the official date posted yet. It's to help support the food banks and the 3 food banks in town. The Lennoxville Farmers Market closes October 15th. Le marché public de Lennoxville ferme le 15 octobre, donc il reste juste quelques semaines. Si vous connaissez quelqu'un qui si vous connaissez quelqu'un pour nominer pour la reconnaissance exceptionnelle en ville, c'est le temps maintenant. On a jusqu'au fin d'octobre. If anybody knows of anyone who should be nominated for the Outstanding Achievement Awards, get your nominations in by the end of October. Et la dernière chose, j'aimerais souligner demain, le 28 septembre, c'est British Home Children Day. Entre 1869 et 1939, il y a 100 000 enfants d'Angleterre qui sont venus ici au Canada. Il y avait une maison à Sherbrooke, la maison Gibbs, et il y avait des garçons qui sont allés là. C'est estimé maintenant que 10% de la population du Canada sont les descendants de ces orphelins. Tomorrow, September 28th, is British Home Children Day. Between 1869 and 1939, there were 100,000 children who came from England or from Britain to Canada, and it's estimated that 10% of the population is descended from these people. Some of them were orphans, some of them were poor children. When there weren't any social programs, the state couldn't support them, so they were shipped here. There was a lot of abuse, and there's quite a few people in the area here who are descended from the children. So usually there's a commemoration in Sherbrooke, but I haven't heard of anything yet this year. So thank you. That's all I have to say.
So you probably wonder why I was chosen to direct the council. It's just simply by random draw. Donc, on a fait un tirage au sort, donc avant le conseil d'arrondissement pour savoir qui allait présider l'assistance. C'est moi qui avais gagné. Donc, voilà. A new edition of Congratulations in the South. So congratulations to everyone that was involved in the Pumpkin Festival. It was so lovely. And thank you so much for the lovely pie of Lauren Pastries. They were delicious. And congratulations to Mr. McDonald also for winning the prize. Also, congratulations to the Repair Cafe team. I brought my own sound system to be repaired there. And after a while, the repair person wasn't able to save it, sadly, but he was able to send me to the appropriate person. So So hopefully this other person will save it. And I learned a lot about converters in the meantime. Also congratulations to the Bishop Music Department for their first Music Shane concert. In a long time, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to have it in person. So it was so lovely to see all the music teachers of the department getting on stage and presenting their own material. I remember fondly, especially the performance of Mr. Ross Osmond's beautiful rendering of a Rachmaninoff piece. Thank you very much for that. And also our famous octet with Tom Doherty and Sarah Heath. Thank you very much for your presentation. And also this week is Truth and Reconciliation. We have a lot of activities everywhere. Me and Madam Garafat are wearing orange in support of that cause today. And so what we want to show is simply our openness to conversation and our will to continue that reconciliation. And so there's going to be a lot of activities at Champlain's College, a lot of conferences and discussions on the 29th. I encourage you to go on the Facebook page of Champlain to know more about those activities. There's going to be a march as well, also, if I remember correctly.
Vendredi.
The 30th, huh?
Yeah, they're starting to gather at 11:30 at the quad, and the march starts at 1.
Sure. So there you go. En français maintenant, donc, ben, félicitations à une nouvelle édition de Félicitations dans le Sud. Voilà. D'abord, félicitations à tous ceux qui ont participé et qui ont organisé le Festival de la citrouille. C'était vraiment fantastique, j'ai adoré ça. Merci à Lauren Pastries pour ses magnifiques tartes à la citrouille. Félicitations à M. McDonald aussi pour avoir gagné le prix pour sa citrouille. Aussi, félicitations à l'équipe du Répar Café. Moi, j'ai amené mon propre système de son pour le faire réparer, même si la personne qui réparait n'a pas pu le sauver. Elle a pu, par contre, m'apprendre beaucoup sur le système de son. J'ai appris énormément sur les convertisseurs. Puis, la personne a été capable de me référer à quelqu'un qui pourra peut-être effectivement réparer. Aussi, félicitations à tout le département de musique de Bishop's University pour le concert Musique chez nous. Ça faisait très longtemps qu'on avait eu ce concert-là en personne. C'est le concert en hommage à Howard Brown qui a fondé le département. Et donc, ça a été vraiment merveilleux de voir les professeurs se commettre et aller sur scène pour présenter leur matériel. Donc, félicitations plus particulières peut-être à M. Ross Osmond qui a fait une très belle interprétation d'un Rachmaninoff comme il sait bien les faire, et aussi à l'octet, composé entre autres de M. Tom Doherty et Sarah Heath. Félicitations. Et puis aujourd'hui, en fait, cette semaine, c'est la semaine de vérité et réconciliation. Il y a beaucoup d'activités toute la semaine, mais il y en a aussi plus particulièrement à Champlain's College et sur le campus aussi le 29 et le 30. Je vous encourage à aller sur le site de Champlain pour voir toutes les conférences et discussions qui sont disponibles pour vous le 29. Et pour le 30, voilà, on a dit l'heure tout à l'heure à 11h30, c'est ça, dans le quad.
Les gens sont invités à commencer d'aller au quad vers 11h30, mais je crois que la marche commence à 1h.
Ça commence à 1h, donc voilà. Mais pour les détails, vous pouvez aller effectivement sur la page Facebook de Champlain ou la page Facebook de Bishops pour les détails. Donc voilà, je crois que c'est ce qui conclut la séance du Conseil d'arrondissement d'aujourd'hui. That concludes today's meeting. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.